You care about self-improvement. I know that about you because that's why you're here. And anyone that cares about self-improvement, or in a better word, self-development, is someone that is searching for their authentic self. Who are you really? Because you're trying to improve yourself, but more importantly, you're trying to discover who you really are. Most people don't realize that they don't need to add to become more. They have to instead strip away what's holding them back. You already are the perfect version of yourself. You're just clouded by doubt, insecurities, fear, but all of those things are normal. Everyone has them. The goal of self-improvement is to become aware of what those are, so then that you can work on that, improve that, so you can tap into the realest version of yourself. I think it's called Individuation by Carl Jung. And it's basically the process of becoming your authentic self. And when you're in that process, it requires you to face dark parts of yourself. It really sucks. You have to question your limiting beliefs. You have to look at your past, things that you didn't like, trauma from your childhood. You are going to be upset for having specific beliefs. You're going to be upset for not loving yourself enough, for not feeling like you're worthy. You're going to be upset of not believing in yourself. And all that guilt is probably going to lead you to a crisis. The thing is, this is exciting, okay? I'm kind of going through a crisis right now. And as much as it's really hard for me, I'm still able to show up and separate myself and not let that be such a huge weight on my life where it paralyzes me. Because I know that the crisis is necessary for growth, I'm able to accept it. So I want you to think about your life right now. And if you're going through a difficult period, this is such a good portal for growth. This is exactly where you can grow. But it is your choice. You have to be proactive with it. And I want you to notice 3 things. If you have pain, if you feel empty, or if you have doubts, I want you to listen to how this can teach you something. These are not hindrance to your growth. They're actually what helps you transform. Let's go in the first one, pain. Pain teaches you compassion. And as much as it sucks to suffer, there is always a reason behind the suffering. And one of the most common reasons is to feel compassionate towards others. It's not just for yourself, but really understand that when you're hurt, when you've experienced loss or struggle or failure, those are universal pains. And you naturally become more empathetic towards people going through similar situations. A good example is yesterday I was on a walk and I was feeling a lot of pain. I could really feel it in my body. I was walking and I almost felt like I wanted to choke. I wasn't having a panic attack, but I really felt like choked up, like I needed to cry, like I needed to just let something out. I just felt like a lot of pain. And my reflex was to go to an AA meeting. And not because I'm an alcoholic, but because when you're surrounded by people that also experience pain, there's a lot of soothing that goes there. There's a lot of connection and empathy and closeness related to pain. And that's why I love that they have open meetings, because they allow people like me that aren't alcoholics to be there in support. And I've never once felt like I didn't belong there. I felt very welcomed. It's really hard for me to be there too, because I almost feel like I'm more emotional than them because I have empathy for them, and it just kind of changes my perspective. So often when you experience pain and you're able to have compassion, it kind of softens the judgment you have towards yourself for experiencing what you have. It makes you feel like it's a little bit more normal to go through what you're going through. The second thing is emptiness. This is something I struggled as well with, because I'm someone that by default will numb myself. I will try to not feel, I will try to not think, but I will almost act as a robot, and it really doesn't feel good and it doesn't solve or heal anything. But the thing with emptiness, when you feel empty, it actually teaches you humility. When you're feeling empty, you're reminded that you're not self-sufficient, that you cannot rely on achievements, status, rewards, external validation to feel fulfilled. You're basically confronted with the fact that you have limited power, that you cannot have control over everything, that you are not as important or certain about your life. And that's very humbling. And that can make you feel very uncomfortable. But once you operate from a place of humility, if you allow emptiness to teach you to stay humble, it allows you to have an open mind. It allows you to learn, to receive help, to seek meaning through your situations. As a paradox, emptiness is actually creating a space for the highest version of you to grow. When I feel empty, I realize that I've been very self-centered recently. I've made it all about me, and I need to connect to something greater. Either it's through my community, either it's through the people that I love around me, or it's with God, to realize that there are so many things that are way more important than me. And when I dedicate my time to that, I feel more fulfilled. It fills my cup. It feels like my time here is worth it. And then finally, the doubt part. If you feel very doubtful, or you don't trust yourself, or you feel insecure, it forces you to be introspective. Doubt teaches you introspection. It makes you ask deeper questions. It makes you reflect. It makes you seek deeper understanding of yourself. I love doubt because every time I have doubt, I realize I am fearful of something. Am I fearing failure? Am I fearing what people will think? Am I fearing success? Those are all valid fears, but what is it that it's holding me back right now? What is it telling me? Is it rational? See, everything that you're going through in life, every dark time, every crisis, whatever you're going through is teaching you something. It's your portal to personal growth, and ultimately that's what you want. So when you're in a period of depression, not clinically, but just like a lower mood, it's an opportunity for you to grow. You have to embrace that. I like to think that those times feel so terrible because you have a part of you that needs to die. It's like there's a part of you that's sick. The lower part of you, your ego, or the less evolved version of you. And you holding on to that, wanting things to be how they were, is just keeping you stuck in the past, stagnant, not growing. But that's actually the worst thing that you want. You want to grow. And if you want to grow, you have to let those things go. And if you want to let things go, you have to find meaning behind your pain. You have to sit with yourself, sit in silence, let's see what surfaces, and then go deeper into that. Learn from that. And that is your choice. If you really want to exercise your freedom of being here on earth, it's to look for your own truth. Go on this journey. Figure out who you really are. And you cannot do that if you are distracting yourself with social media or TV, or reality TV, or partying. If you always try to do what everybody else is doing, or copying everybody else, or consume what other people do, you're going to try subconsciously to copy who they are. And that's going to make you further away from who you're really meant to be. I just don't want you to fall into this trap. I don't want to fall into that trap myself. So that's why I decide to take full accountability of my life, the good and the bad. When things are good, awesome. I tap myself on the shoulder, I thank God. When things are bad, God has a reason for it, and I take accountability into how I navigate it. I need to do my part so he can do his. So on this note, I hope that you don't feel alone in this. We're in this together. This is normal. The fact that we're aware that we're going through tough times is exactly the reason why we have what it takes to overcome it and to grow as a more evolved version of ourselves. So I hope you're excited just as much as I am to step into your personal growth. Thank you so much for listening. I love you so much, and I will see you very soon in a new video. Mwah.